It just seems like it might be creating an echo. It's, I don't know. I'm not seeing it. I don't see any kind of detail over here. It's like a little bit. It's
All right, good morning, everyone. We'll go ahead and get started. It's 8 o'clock. We'll start with our committee meetings for Tuesday, June 18, 2024 at 8 a.m. We'll start with our Executive Administration and Legal Committee. The roll call
Yes, sir. Mr. Upton, Dr. Lewis,
here.
Ms. Katz. Here. Mr. Chair, you have a quorum.
All right, item number one, motion to recommend approving the April 2024 draft financial statements. We'll do a second. John.
We had covered those in the last meeting, and just to kind of bring, if y'all weren't here last meeting, we're in draft because when we connected Bill.com, we've discovered there were old outstanding invoices which had been journal entered to zero in the system. However, with Bill.com, it pulls those invoices in, and we're basically standing on our head trying to get that cleaned up. And as you'll see in the May financial statements this month, there's also an amount that's showing on there as Bill.com money out clearing. That's part of that cleanup in that. And so I think we've got the solution to that. Have us April and May cleaned up to be able to present those as final for next month. Do you want me to go back over April again, or just do May, or how do you want to do it?
I think we can go back over it. We had a few folks out. You don't mind?
So in April, let's see. Sure I get the-
Four, I think.
So in April, we had 63,359 in the checking account, 653,586 in the money market. No changes on our CDs, and no changes in equipment. You can see that accounts payable balance on page 5 is 27,837. That does include some of those old invoices that we're in the process of clearing out that were actually paid. They just still show up in QuickBooks as unpaid. And if you'll go to page 6, you can see our occupancy collections for the month of April was 86,877. Expenses were 36,477 for operations and 31,157 for grants. That put us with an $18,000 profit for the month and a 59.5 loss year to date. In April, we're running about almost 19,000 behind budget in revenues. Expenses were ahead, but we had already paid for the audit, which is extremely early for us. Was one of the major expenses. That was timing difference. So when you look at on page 8, while we're behind budget-wise, year-to-date, we're right at where we were last year. We were 281 versus 286 revenues. Expenses, operating expenses are 192 versus 177. And then our grants were 143.5 versus 205. And that's been somewhat because we haven't been able to approve any grants. And if you'll go to page 12, you can see overall a cumulative difference as of April was 97.15. And then May, which is behind tab 6. Get that upside down. You can see our checking account balance was 107,415, and the money market was 658,783. Like I mentioned before, that Bill.com money out clearing is part of the cleanup of the transfer in, as well as the accounts payable balance is not accurate at the moment. We'll have that cleaned up by next month. You can see on page 6, revenues for the month were 88,134. That brings us to 369,592. Only about $5,800 behind budget year to date. So revenues are doing well. Monthly operating expenses were 26,539, and grants paid out were 22,176. That put us with a $38,000 profit for the month of May, and year to date with a $21,000 loss. So we're doing well as far as income and expense goes. And then on page 8, you can see year to date this year versus last year, we're about $5,000 ahead on revenues. Expenses are about $7,000 for operations more than prior year. And our events were down about almost 64,000 year to date. And on page 15, you can see we're starting to catch up over our budget. We're total cumulative of 22,500 ahead of budget year to date.
Comments by commissioner?
I got a question. The CDs that we have, do you know what rates they're at when they?
We just renewed one at a higher rate, and I don't remember what that rate was. The other one is, I think, renews.
So we have to ask them the higher rate, so you know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't remember when the one that just renewed, we got a higher rate on.
Good.
We don't get as good as market rates
I understand.
because they have to have the pledged securities to go with it, so.
Right.
But we did get a higher rate. I think we were getting like 0.5% or something ridiculous on it before.
Yeah.
But we did renew the one that renewed last at a higher rate.
I've got some business owners that are getting fours. They're having to fight for it.
Yeah, well, and like I said, the GAEDA is unique in that the bank has to have pledged securities to go with it, so we don't get market rate on CDs.
Okay. Right. Just curious. Thank you.
Any public comments? All right. All in favor of approval? We'll do them separate. All in favor of approving April 2024 draft financial statements for this committee? Any opposed? And then item number 2 was approving the May 2024 draft financial statements. Do we have any public comments for May? All in favor? All right. Last item for this committee to hear public comments. Not this committee adjourned. Our next committee is the Governmental Relations Committee. Mr. Carroll.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Yes, sir. Mr. Carroll?
Here.
Mr. Patel?
Here.
Mr. Callis?
Here.
Chair, you have a quorum.
Okay, just one item to hear public comments. This committee stands adjourned.
All right, thank you. Next committee, Capital Projects Committee, Mr. Morgan.
Good morning. Roll call, please.
Yes, sir. Mr. Morgan?
Here.
Mr. Patel?
Here.
Dr. Lewis?
Here.
Chair, you have a quorum.
Any public comments? Who?
I'd like to make one.
Okay.
I'm not sure if it should have been under the public relations or not, but in lieu of us not having done any business for GAEDA with those that have gone through the process and completed applications for due diligence, I'd like to recommend, or I'd like to see somewhere on the agenda that there's something expeditedly done to make sure that those projects are in fact looked at, considered, and awarded if possible. Well, that's business coming to our area. Those nonprofit organizations have done their due diligence to make sure things are on the agenda. those nonprofit organizations have done their due diligence in doing their part. The executive director then hers, it's time for the board to do theirs.
Yes, sir. And we have a slew of them. We didn't have any agendas for them, so that's,
Yeah.
we have a
Right.
slew of
Yeah.
them on next one. No problem.
There's a book over there, public.
Yeah, we can
Yeah,
still-
okay.
All right, thank you, Capital Projects Committee. Our next committee, Economic Development Committee. Roll call, please.
Yes, sir. Dr. Lewis,
Here.
Mr. Patel.
Here.
Mr. Morgan,
Here.
Mr. Callis.
Here.
Mr. Chair, you have a quorum.
All right, first item, motion to recommend approving a cooperative endeavor with the Alexandria and Conventions of Visitors Bureau in amount not to exceed $15,000 for meals and advertising and marketing of the 2024 Future Farmers of America Conference.
She's not here, Katie Vanderlit, but if you recall, we did a agreement with, Future Farmers of America for 4 years. I think this is the third year. They didn't, with everything going on, it just fell off our radar. So we're asking to, approve that cooperative endeavor agreement for this year. GAEDA does not normally go into multiple year contracts, but we normally do it a year, but we do have that commitment to FFA. I know that it's already happened, but we should honor our agreement that we had with them to bring them here for 4 years. And place the reports, if you can see downtown, when they come in, they're certainly making their numbers. So it's a good investment.
Can we get a motion?
Just a quick question.
Yes, sir.
And I don't have a problem with the 15,000, but in her letter, she also talked about $5,000 for the fireworks show. Did they?
Yes, sir,
not
that's,
do that? Or we get a separate bill for that when that would happen?
it's within that 15,000. I think it's 12,000 and the five.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I must have misread that. This letter said 15,000 for meals and advertising, 5,000 for fireworks.
Fireworks, yeah, I just didn't put that on the agenda.
Okay, that's fine.
Can we get a motion first for,
Some of,
then, what is for the committee?
oh, I'm sorry, my bad. I thought we were in the meeting.
Mhm.
Sorry.
Could we have a motion for item number 1 from the executive committee members? Motion. All right, item number 2, motion to recommend approving public comments on item number 1. All right, item,
That was successful event to the parish. They bringing people to town, to Alexander to see what's, what we have to offer. Already improved. My question to the board, very important that we bring them back and on a 4-year contract. On a 4-year contract.
Well, I'm lost.
well, just for clarification, we're on the Economic Development Committee, myself, Mr. Patel, Mr. Morgan, Mr. Callis. We're on item number 1. We need a motion for recommending. We had some questions by Mr. Carroll, but we need the motion to get it started.
Yeah, motion.
Okay, now that we need a second. I'm sorry if we were confused on where we were on the agenda. Now that we need a second.
Second.
Now, did we have any comments from the commissioner? We had one from Mr. Carroll. Do we have any other comments? Ms. Angie said this event has already occurred, but we had a 4-year commitment. And they typically bring in a couple of thousand students, high school students, to the convention to learn different skills about agricultural science. And I don't know if you attended, but it was, I picked up on one day of it.
Was a Placer report on them last year? Do we know any?
It is, I thought I uploaded it, but I will
I'll look,
upload it.
I'll look.
And,
Okay. I'm just curious because that's a huge data set to look at.
yes,
I mean, I would like to look at that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we had a couple of local students qualify for the national, if I'm not mistaken. All right, now, can we get a roll call? Any other public comments on number 1? And then a roll call to approve the 15,000 for the meals and advertisement.
Dr. Lewis,
Yes.
Mr. Patel,
Yes.
Mr. Morgan,
Yes.
Mr. Callis,
Yes. Yes.
All right, thank you. Next item for the committee, motion to recommend approving a grant request with the Peak Fighting Championship in amount not to exceed $10,000 for out of area advertisement for the marketing of the PFC 41 event held November 16th, 2024. Do we have a motion?
Motion.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, any commissioner comments on this item? I think we discussed, this was brought up last month.
We did, and,
Fill us in.
if you notice, we did the fact sheets, it's 41, 30, 40, 41. I don't know why I can't say that, but mixed martial fighting event and consists of 10 to 20 MMA fights. They asked for 12,000. They have other amounts, with, CVB, I believe, in the amount of 10,000. Their projected number of, out-of-town guests is about 115. Projected number of hotel rooms, 300. Potential economic impact of 32,200. I did those numbers just based on the out-of-town, participants and guests. They do have other partners. We're recommending 10,000 for out-of-market media and advertisement.
Is it correct that CVB has also contributed 10,000?
Yes, sir. And in-kind support.
And where's, I'm sorry, where is this held again?
It should be at the Coliseum.
Coliseum. Okay.
Yes, sir.
They gave 10,000. CVB gave 10,000 in kind, is that correct?
They're supposed to be, yes, sir.
What is in kind in this case?
I think they'll do some posters for them. I think they're there to support them. On the ground, I really don't know what all it involved, but I thought Katie was gonna be here. But I'll tell you what she told me, because I asked them what they give the money for, and she says they don't really ask.
They really don't ask for?
They don't ask the applicants to really say what they're gonna use the money for, like we do, and pinpoint it. She just said that, they give in-kind support, and supporting the event. They do, posters, they help them promote the event, but that's about all I could get.
I'd like to make a recommendation to the board to push this review to the next meeting after we verify what this in-kind support is with CVB. Having trouble figuring out where this in-kind support can come from if they're having it at the Coliseum, which is Rapides Parish. So obviously there's no convention space. A lot of questions to be answered.
So we're asking to table this.
What's the date?
November.
The event is in
Okay.
November, so.
Do we have any other comments from commissioners on this item? Any public comments? So we would need to bring this back immediately next.
So we have a motion to recommend it, Mr. Callis and Mr. Morgan. Mr. Patel is asking, for it to be tabled. Do I have a second?
I second.
Then all in favor, table it till next month.
That's fine with me.
Any opposed to it for this committee? Just for the record.
And just to note that these people are trying to call and the internet is down. AT&T is the new Suddenlink.
Sudden state.
So I do want to make a point here that's related and unrelated to the matter. But something factual is the $10,000 that we gave to we give to FFA?
15.
For the 15 to 16.
15.
Okay, yes, 15 for
Yeah.
those.
We gave 15,000 to them with a little over 200,000 in impact. If I'm correct. Find that page. All right. I don't remember what it was, but it was a bit.
I don't think-
2,500.
Okay, 225. And peak fighting, there's
32.2.
32.2 for $10,000, which is a substantial differentiation between the economic impacts and the grants given. And this is something that I would like for the whole board to see, because it's important that our grants are in ratio with the economic impact that's being generated. And that needs to be considered when peak fighting comes back to us, or when we review this again, if we motion to table it to the next meeting.
And I think that's something Ms. Angie's working on is an application metric. Because one billboard can be $8,000, so,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Electronic billboard can be a couple of $1,000s, so that would take up all of that. And if we're reimbursing based on invoices and it doesn't come back to
What
10,000.
I've noticed is in our past grants, the events that are truly creating economic impact are getting an unfair ratio lower than events that are not contributory to the city.
True. And then some are more efficient, like FFA is a statewide school, so kids are in the program all year, so that's hard to compare when it's part of their project is to do this of 1,000 kids. So I think all that can be considered. She's working on some metrics, and definitely some feedback to help her out, and when we take it to consideration. Also, a list of your questions, can you send to her so she can get, since Ms. Katie's not on here?
I'll send it out again.
One quick question. Is this the first time they've come to us for money?
Yes.
Peak fighting, yes.
'Cause I've seen their events in Lafayette. They draw people, but, I mean, Mr. Patel has a legitimate point here. Okay, thank you.
And like I said, they're trying to, I hate using this term, but break market. They're trying to show that they can have an impact. So we have to consider, do we want to invest in it so it can get bigger, which was the original thought of the grant program, to help smaller events get bigger. With the new board, new ideas, we've changed it, so we really need to revisit those grant policies and procedures. I'll send them out again, with the draft that we originally had, showing some of your comments of, having, block grants in different categories. I'll send that out again so I can try to get
That's
feedback.
the one I looked at, right? That's the one we're
Yes.
talking about. Yeah, no, it's a good draft. It shows sort of first time X, second time X. This would be the first time,
Right. Right,
which would drop the number down. No,
absolutely.
drop the number down, maybe the ratio would be better.
Well, in this case, I just wanted to make an example out of the ratio, but it's not really the dollar amount. And I think that it will play out the way that they intend it to. But I'm more concerned about what CVB is doing in kind. Because another thing that I'm looking at when I'm looking at these is, what did other organizations give towards this group? And I think that that's where I base my high number from, is, hey, there was another public organization that gave X amount. We should consider up to that amount. And that's why I'm asking.
If there was a checkbox, and there could already be a checkbox on the form saying, hey, you have applied for money from some other group, that would be a help too. I mean, we didn't know, I mean, I don't, unless they check a box on our form that says, hey, I'm also asking CBD for $10,000.
They
But
write
it is.
They write it
It
in.
is.
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
and do our timelines sync up with their timelines? That's, I mean, it's a legitimate view. I don't know anybody else that would, besides CBG, would you give anybody else any money? Am I missing something? Would it just be CBD and that's it?
Well, if you notice, they have other sponsors,
Right.
I believe that's a two individuals.
It's clear, yeah.
Yeah,
Click it.
different things like that, but we normally try to match what the CBB is doing, working with them. And, I'm surprised Katie's not here, but, we've had extensive conversation about this peak fighting. And I can't answer your question about, what exactly it's for, because I'm still confused to that. And I know Katie is new, to all of this, so she's still trying to wrap her mind around everything. But hopefully we can get her here at the next meeting.
Just a real last quick question. It's actually for you, John, and then we can move on. The CBD's numbers from revenue from hotel taxes and other things, are they comparable to what we get?
Well, percentage wise, they get a smaller percentage.
They get a smaller percentage, so, okay, okay.
All right, any public comments? We'll move this item till May. If you send your questions to Ms. Bernardo, she can get it over to Ms. Vanderlake to answer. We'll come back for May. It gives us enough time to get it done for the November date.
You mean July? We're going back.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's right.
More coffee.
All right, number 3, motion to recommend approving a grant request for the Louisiana Animal Care and Control Association in amount not to exceed $5,000 for out-of-area advertising and marketing of the Louisiana Animal Control Care and Control Association training held November 22nd through the 26th. Do we have a motion for this committee?
I would like to make the motion.
And do we have a second?
Sure, let's second it. Let's see where it goes.
All right, commissioners' comments.
Ms. Bernardo, same sort of question. First time?
No, actually,
I think I'm familiar with this group.
right, and they certainly bring in the numbers. Um, they, they're only requesting $5,669. They get their, it's a week-long training event. The multiple years recipient, they do good reporting. The placer reports support their numbers. They far exceed what their numbers are, what they state in their application. Um, They actually moved this event because of our incentive package to pay for meals. They actually moved this to Central Louisiana. So, again, the placer report should be on the board portal. And I can send them to you, but they definitely, this is a small amount, based on the economic impact of $169,400.
And I agree. When I was reviewing the application, um, I was a little surprised it wasn't asking for more.
Right, right. And they don't do advertising, that's what, just meals, and 5,000, that's not a lot considering what caterers charge this day and time, gratuity alone.
Where's the $669 coming from?
Their request.
I think, the $5,669.
Oh, the 5,000 was recommended.
Yes, that's what they,
Any other commissioner comments on this item? Public comments? All right, roll call vote, please.
yes, sir. Dr. Lewis,
Yes.
Mr. Patel,
Yes.
Mr. Morgan,
Yes.
Mr. Counts.
Yes.
Your motion carries.
Thank you. Next item, motion to recommend approving a grant request for the Southwestern Diocese Church of Christ Holiness USA, an amount not to exceed $7,000 for meals at the Southwestern Diocese Convention to be held June 26th through the 30th. We have a motion for that item. No motion for that item.
It's behind tab 14.
Can we get a motion to put it on the floor to discuss? All right, I didn't hear any motion for that item. We'll move to the next one. Motion to recommend approving a grant request for RRIS Playhouse in amount not to exceed $2,500. Advertisement and out-of-market advertising for the Sole Purpose Stage Play held October 26, 2024, the Coughlin Saunders Performing Arts Center. We have a motion for that item for this committee.
I would like to make the motion.
All right, did we have a second? All right, since we didn't have a second for that item, go to number 6. Motion to recommend approving a grant request for the United Educational Missionary Baptist Association in amount not to exceed $10,000 for meals for the Louisiana Home and Foreign Missions Baptist Convention to be held July 28th through August 1st. Do we have a motion for that item?
Which tab is this?
6.
It's 14.
Are we clear where we are on here?
Yeah. We
Okay.
give something here.
Do we have a motion to put this on the table for discussion?
I think my tabs are wrong.
It's 10, 15, or 16 on mine.
It's 14.
Angie had it right.
It's 15 on mine.
Well,
Big economic impact.
We need a motion to put it for discussion in for this committee. We don't have a motion for this one. We'll go to number 7. Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry. For public comment. Any public comments?
Yes, I'd like to ask that you guys please look at item number 4, number 6. We have a moral decline. This is for youth. This is for things that are going to help uplift the moral compass of our youth. And I think this is something that definitely needs to be looked at. This is multiple nonprofit organizations, Christian-based, that is saying we need to bring other youth and Christians into the community to uplift and to help us to keep our youth and our people on the straight and narrow. I think to not approve the Southwest Diocese Church of Christ and Holiness, as well as for the United Education Missionary Baptist Association, I think that that definitely deserves another look at. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, number 7, and the way it works, it'll go to committee, then we'll have a full board items at the regular meeting. A motion to recommend approving a grant request for the Louisiana Association of Chiefs Police in the amount not to exceed $10,000 for meals at the LACP Annual Conference held July 15th through the 18th, 2024. We have a motion for this committee.
Vice Chair Lewis, I have a question. On number 6, that did not get a motion. That did not carry, correct?
Right.
Okay,
4, 5, or 6,
okay, thank you.
but doesn't care for the committee.
Dr. Lewis?
Yep.
Can we revisit motion 6, please?
Okay, can we do 7 and then we'll run through them again one more time. So number 7 is Louisiana Association of Chiefs for July 15th through the 18th. We have a motion for that one. All right, so I'll run back through four. Motion to recommend approving a grant request with the Southwestern Diocese Church Christ of Holiness, USA, amount not to exceed $7,000 for meals at the Southwestern Diocese Convention, June 26th through the 30th. Do we have a motion for that?
I will make the motion.
Do we have a second? I'll second it. Do we have any comments? Can we do a roll call vote on number four, please, Ms. Bernardo?
Dr. Lewis,
Yes.
Patel,
There's number 4.
It's the motion to.
Southwestern Diocese.
Go number four.
Southwest Diocese Church.
No.
Mr. Morgan,
Yes.
Mr. Callis.
No.
Mr. Chair, motion.
All right, motion, we'll review motion number five. Again, to recommend approving a grant request for RIS Playhouse in the amount not to exceed $2,500 for advertisement and out-of-market advertising of the Sole Purpose Stage Play to be held October 26th at the Coughlin Saunders. Do we have a motion for that item?
I will make the motion.
I'll second. Can we roll call vote for that item?
Dr. Lewis,
Or didn't she come last month or have any input on this RIS Playhouse?
you know, they are new applicant. They're trying to, again, I hate this term, but break market. The reason why I recommended 2,500 is because they have the potential to do, to break market and bring these plays. But again, they're the first time, we don't lose anything because advertisement, out-of-market advertisement means bringing people in from out of town to come see this play, which is, I'm trying to go back to the fact sheet. 13.
Well,
While you're looking for that, Ms. Fernando, I took a look when I was looking at the application. I think they had a prior performance in Houston
Mhm.
with a real big. I was looking at the numbers, and they had a real big turnout.
They did, and their economic impact is not, it's a potential impact of 3,150. And to go to Mr. Patel's question of what we put funding towards, I did 2,500 just to see what they can do.
The stage plays are hit and miss, have been hit and miss the past.
maybe the middle ground is to, since this got voted down the first time, maybe we just lower the money. I mean, if we feel like there's a potential impact, instead of 2,500, we just lower the amount. I mean,
Well, the potential impact is 3,150. So that's why I did 2,500. Again, advertising and marketing, the billboards and things like that, you easily get up to $5,000 with what they're charging. So that 2,500 is not a lot of money, but it is, I believe it's a good investment to see what they can do.
All right, any other comments? Can we get a roll call vote for number five?
Dr. Lewis,
Yes.
Mr. Patel,
No.
Mr. Morgan,
Yes.
Mr. Callis,
no. Just, I would be in at a lower number. That's just me. I mean,
what,
But what number are you looking for?
If, at the $2,500, I mean, I would be in at a lower number because I know it's the first time the economic impact is a little bit lower. But if we came in at $1,000, I think it's just give them something at some point. Yeah.
So substitute the 2,500 for 1,000.
Yeah, just for 1,000, see if the motion passes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I mean, I'm willing to work with Commissioner Lewis and Mr. Morgan to see if we can get that done. I mean, we'll see.
That's fine. So the substitute would be to substitute the 2,500 for 1,000 for out of market advertising for the sole purpose stage play.
That's correct.
We need a second motion on?
I
a
second.
And then now roll call for the 1,000.
I have a comment.
Comment, go ahead.
$1,000 is an insignificant number for us to grant to help performance grow. My reason for not supporting it altogether is the projected out-of-town participants of 180, and they're projecting 75 to 100 hotel rooms. The likelihood of that happening is nil, zero, because the people attending this concert or performance, more than likely, they're going to be within driving distance. And forget about hotel rooms, but they're probably not even going to be dining at our restaurants because they're going to come after lunch or before dinner or after dinner, whatever the case is. I don't think that the true taxable impact is going to be as substantial, which is why, from a economic impact standpoint, I do not support it. However, I'm for the $1,000. It's something to support them and see where it goes.
I think it's twofold. We look at a lot of economic impact, but I also look at quality of life, about profiling the city as a whole. We're already, if you look across the city, we're struggling. We need inspiration, we need motivation. So when I look at events, it's the economic impact of what we get back, but it's also, can the economic organizations go out here and profile the city and say, we have something constant every month, all the time. So again, the profile of building the city brand should be considered for all these things. So I'm willing to take, they fail at it or don't do as successful, vote them down next time. But to say that we supported 7 organizations, and if we're marketing and branding, that attracts other folks. So I get what you're saying, but I also look at the quality of life. Folks need something to do. Also the profile and taking advantage of branding the city and advertising ourselves. So when we see our stamp or, we see ourselves on these marketing and these billboards and things of that nature, those people go back. FFA is one. They go back and share that GAEDA did this. And then we get other state organizations like the JAG came, which is another state high school organization. 1,400 kids came, and they came from all over. And they stayed a night here as well. So I think I look at it twofold when I come to the application. Again, $1,000, they might not even spend the full $1,000. We're reimbursing. We're not sending one check. They have to be reimbursed for the 1,000. They might just do a $500 billboard or, so when I look at it, I look at the full spectrum. I get we want to do the economic impact. Those things come around, but I do look at quality of life. I do look at the profile and the brand that we're potentially trying to build when we do these things.
So it sounds like we're all in at 1,000, but that would be the median.
Oh, we do. I think it's on the floor for 1,000, unless anybody has another number.
That would save the motion.
And I second.
So we'll do roll call for the 1,000.
1,000.
Dr. Lewis,
Yes.
Mr. Patel,
Yes.
Mr. Morgan,
Yes.
Mr. Callis.
Yes.
Chair motion passed.
All right, thank you. Revisiting number 6, motion to recommend approving a grant request for the United Educational Missionary Baptist Association in amount not to exceed $10,000 for meals, Louisiana Home and Foreign Missions Baptist Convention, July 28th through the August 1st. I have a motion to put it on the floor.
I make the motion.
And I'll second. Do we have any comments on this particular item, number 6?
I've got just a quick question. Are we pretty comfortable with the $392,000 economic impacts, a big number? Are we comfortable with that number? I mean, I know it's a long event, et cetera, and a lot of people. That's a lot of economic impact.
It's 7 days, so that's.
Right.
Very long.
Right.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think most of the members are not local.
Sure, right.
This is equivalent to, student meal.
That's kind of what it had the feeling of.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. But, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, that's, any other commissioner comments on number 6?
I'm gonna tell everybody what I think on this one. My motion is, my reasoning on this one is the same one as number 4. I just don't want to put taxpayer money towards religious organizations if I can avoid that. I know probably in the past this board has done that, but I just feel like these are organizations that get money already, they're nonprofit. That's why it's not
Well, Gator can't, be prejudiced towards whether it's, a religious organization. They fit the criteria. They're bringing in hotel rooms. They're making the numbers. Again, because they're a religious organization, should have no bearing on whether or not we consider funding. They meet the criteria. They are a legitimate organization. And again, they're filling hotel rooms.
Wasn't they here a couple of months ago to actually speak
They were,
and discuss this business?
Thanks to the last 2.
they
We
were.
had, several members who was not present.
And it is in July, but that's not the organization's fault. We could not get a quorum. So, but, again, they're just asking for meals for a week-long event, and it fits GAEDA's criteria. We don't have the luxury of saying, or I don't even want to call it a luxury, saying because it's a religious event.
Well, listen, I can be persuaded. I want to hear what the other commissioners on the committee think.
And putting comments on.
Hey, public comment. Well, we've done this before, if I'm not mistaken. And again, they're focusing on their entire statewide organization, which they have chapters in every major metro in the state. I think they say their greatest is coming from the Baton Rouge, New Orleans area. And they're hosting it at the local level. So last year or the year before, I think it was in Baton Rouge or somewhere. So they're moving around, and they were anticipate bringing it here to Alexandria.
With this,
And again, when it comes to, I didn't even look at religion, being a religion organization. I seen training, I seen some of the other youth events, again, the quality of life, the impact, exposing the city to other folks. And then the potential, first being 7 days, and then all those folks come in for multiple days. That's what I kind of looked at. And I don't think we can deny or question about the religion portion.
Well, some of your largest economic development impact events are religious organizations.
Yes,
City.
that's the majority of them.
This is not the first time they've come, or this is the first time they've come?
This is the first time we've gone to this.
Have they demonstrated the need for funding? Have they provided their financials?
They did, and now that should be,
I think it's a portal.
but they do membership, and again, they're requesting $11,121. And that is for meals. They have in-kind support of $950. 7,000, why? I have 3,000 on there. I think I recommended 7,000.
Yes, so 7,000.
7,000
Fact sheet.
meals and advertising. No advertisement because of the time frame, but that's a drop in the bucket compared to the economic impact that they will provide.
Any other commissioners? Then we'll do public comment.
Mr. Morgan, you have anything to say? I'm curious about your comments on that.
I know in the past, this particular meeting brings in a lot of people. And with it encompassing the whole state, I think we can achieve the numbers we would like to achieve by supporting this.
What about at a lower number?
Well, the amount is 7,000.
Yeah, it's on a-
10,000.
So it's not 10,
7,000.
It's 7?
Yes.
Okay.
It's not,
Four.
it's not 10.
Number 6 is 7,000.
I think number 6 is 10.
Number 16 or-
Number
Where's
number
this
4
event
was
being held?
7,000.
Yeah, 6 is 10
6 is 10.
on both pages.
Where's this event being held?
Oh, I'm sorry, I do have 7,000. It is being held at the Alexandria Convention Center.
Or we want to- or-
So just one technical, you're saying the number 6 is 7,000, not 10,000, is that correct?
Right.
Okay, everybody knows that.
Okay, so it's 7,000. Okay, got it.
And that's because their original request included advertising and marketing, but again, that ship has sailed. They don't really have time to do advertisement and marketing. So I went through their budget narrative and picked out what they would need for meals.
I just cleared it. This is 7,000 for meals. That's what we're saying. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, we can do public comments.
On the GAEDA fact sheet, it says that this amount for recommendation is 10,000 for meals, no advertising cost on the GAEDA fact sheet. I'd like to point out again that the members of this association has been here for the last 2 GAEDA meetings, In addition, I'd like to point out that not only are people coming in from outside of our area to support the local host of it, as Dr. Curtis pointed out, this meeting moves around. It is their turn to host. They have been here again the last 2 GAEDA meetings, and the impact morally as well as economically, I think it is, as you put it, it's to the same level as Steubenville. It's a week long. If anything, I think the recommendation to be to increase it.
I'm sorry, my mistake. I'm looking at, because we're jumping around this agenda. It is 10,000 for meals, not 7,000. That was
7,000 was for item number 4.
4.
Number 4.
So it is 10,000.
And again, the impact, not only, I don't know why we have to fight this. I don't know, the impact economically is there. The impact with the numbers is there. The impact with the moral value is there. This is a no-brainer.
The question is, do they need the financial help, 1? And 2, there's no other partners they have.
If the desire was not there, or need was not there, the application would not have been made. And second of all, do they have to, this is to enhance the economic development of central Louisiana. If the need was not there, but the desire to get it to the next level was there, would that not suffice?
No, because if the funding is there and they don't need the funding, then it's not necessary.
If the funding was not there, would the application have been made? If the need was not there, would the application have
The
not?
need can be there, but the funding need doesn't have to be there.
I think, again, these committee members have been here the last 2 board meetings, the last 2.
I understand that.
The other thing is, and I keep hearing this, that do they need? These grants are an incentive for them to hold their events here. Period. Not whether the organization is in need of our money, That's not that type of granting. We are supporting economic development through tourism.
Okay.
And period. It's not about the need.
Well said, Ms. Bernard.
It doesn't address the partners. There's no other partners on it.
They have in-kind support, and then they're actually the members are putting forth, membership fees. Similar to all these other events, FFA, Steubenville, um, and they can bring, they will bring the numbers, they have. And again, I think it would be a tragedy for us not to be involved in this. Um, Not because they need, because they're gonna make it happen regardless. It's whether GATA wants to be a part of it at the end of the day. And that's why we're giving out grants. It's not about the need.
Yeah, I think Mr. Patel is making a different point. Does this organization need it? I don't know.
Again,
But if we're saying the need, then let's look at economic development in general.
future farmers.
Louisiana Central doesn't ask a corporation, do they need? They incentivize to invite the investment. That's what we're saying, or that's how that.
Future Farmers of America don't need our funding, but we couple with them as an incentive package again to promote tourism and
Those groups that were just discussed, those groups have options every year to go somewhere,
absolutely.
right? And in this particular case, this is coming to Alexander. They are hosting it. It's not us trying to fight to bring them here.
But they can.
They are
go
already
somewhere else.
coming. Part of our objective of economic development is to fight for the ones that are not coming.
That's a part, not a whole part.
The incentive comes with keeping, like FFA,
Keep retaining.
or those organizations we were able to keep for multiple years because we incentivized them on the first go round. That's what she's saying.
I also, echo everything Ms. Christoph has said. These groups have been here twice. And for whatever reason, we didn't have a forum to discuss this. Whatever reason you had not to be here, then you could have been here to ask those questions of the people that was there, because they came twice. So, need, yeah, we need it. They're bringing it to Alexandria. So how do you expect the economy to flourish if every question, do you need? Well, I think the criteria, maybe the board needs to look at the criteria for what you, for your distributions. Because it shouldn't be one for one area or one group and a different standard for another group. Maybe the board needs to look at the criteria for which it distributes funding. And tax dollars funding.
Speaking of criteria, when you look at, I believe it's behind tab 16, that scoring sheet that we do, this organization scored higher than all the other ones to meet what our grant is for. So to not approve them, or even at a lesser amount is, because they're not asking for a lot, considering what they're bringing to the table. Again, I understand the concerns, but that's the reason why we need to revisit the grant, because it's morphing into something else that it wasn't designed to be. I understand your concerns, but that's not what's on the table at this point. And we can't change it until we change it.
How did this $392,000 impact come about? What numbers are equating to that?
On their grant application, on the data reporting page, I take the out-of-town participants that they say they will have, and the guests. I take that number, and if you notice on our grant application, it has where, how you, what numbers the CBB gives.
Right.
I think the multiplier is 140 times the number of days times the people. And that's how I come up with it.
Okay. So here they have a projected number of hotel rooms at 100. So 100 at 6 nights is 600 rooms, okay? So if you factor 600 rooms at, say, an average of $100, you're looking at $60,000. So where is the $320,000 differential coming from?
I don't think that's just the hotel number. It's,
I think
that's all the stay, the spend estimation.
You still can't equate $392,000. How do you spend 400, yeah, how do you spend that?
Well, even at 60,000, the hotel tax on it is,
I kind of think on some of these grants, we kind of get too involved in, like it's been said, do they need it? There are some of these folks that come here. It is good for GAEDA to have their name attached and supporting that event, as we have done so many other events. And I know this is huge, and it's an honor to be hosting this event here. And we want those people to say, hey, let's go back to Alexandria. They treated us kind. We asked for some help, they helped us. So trying to add up every penny,
These aren't pennies.
we're not gonna be able to do that. But I think it's a good investment with GATOR to support this event.
I just, again, I'm baffled because this event is equivalent to, like I said, Steubenville, Future Farmers of America, it's equivalent to that. They bring the numbers, that 10,000 is, you say it's not pennies, but if you cash it out, it's pennies. Now, how much that is a different story. But I think we should attach ourselves to them and show our support for them.
I think we have a few more public comments.
I would speak on the problem that they want to bring to Alexandria, economic development. Mr. Ted, you're gonna make a little bit of that money. It's the hotel. We're gonna bring it back to the community because they need the help to bring back, because when I talk to the classes, they need extra help. And we as a community have to kick in and buy extra stuff to help bring the preachers here and help our children be able to get the word from God. Also, it's not a meeting, but we're gonna be able to go out, learn the word, and also be around great people to teach us, to build our community up. Y'all know we're dying right now. And now we're trying to stop growth. We don't want to stop. If you do the numbers, you're a math man, I hate the numbers. But are we doing it for the right cause? Let's take care of the people and our community, taxpayers, money going to a great cause. So our taxes for, to make sure we take care of our community. In the 1, 2, and 3 things. So please think about what you vote on and trust the preachers. Let them lead us. We want to be led right. We don't want to not hurt. Because like I said, as a community, we're going to go out and do what we're going to do to help. Meaning help donate time and flyers, walk the street, not those, because they need it. They need the help. We all need the help in the black community. And it's going to be also mixed preachers all over the world coming here. That's support for schools, sir.
And to piggyback off of that, this is not just, this is education, training. They're actually doing business at the gospel concert, youth activities. And it's bringing people from outside. I mean, I'm talking about Louisiana, Arkansas, Texas. It's bringing those churches in. And, you know, we say religion, but again, that it's business and it's thriving in central Louisiana because that's what the majority of activities are. Thank God, is religion.
John, I've got a question for you. You got a minute? So, but going back to, I've always heard of the Steubenville event. I'm not really familiar I see people come in, I know that. When did that event start? Do you remember?
It's been
Long time.
years.
Long time. Okay.
I mean,
It started,
Since the nineties at least.
but GAEDA started supporting it.
So GATO started supporting it when, well, like from day one, back in 2003?
No,
No?
and, when we did the granting, which was, I believe, in 2000.
They're already doing it when I got here.
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, it's
It was 2007, it was
It's probably
shortly
been
after
for
that.
15, I would say at least 15 years conservatively.
Right, because GATO wasn't originally doing grants.
Right. So, I mean, even back then, we weren't able to know what their numbers were and we weren't able to track all that stuff. But GATA didn't start supporting that group until much later, is what you're saying.
Well, we didn't start supporting it because we didn't have a
Right.
mechanism to do it. We created the grant so we could get involved in it.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
We have Reverend Watt that has arrived. We'll be glad to answer your questions.
Mr. Lott, Reverend Lott.
Let's see what we're going to do.
All right, good morning, everybody. Good morning, and to all of you this morning, and certainly, if that's the discussion that's on the table concerning the request for the grant that we as United Educational Missionary Baptist Association, along with Educational Missionary Baptist Association, where we are hosting in our city our Louisiana Home and Foreign Mission Baptist State Convention in our city, which will bring many people to this city. They will be staying in our hotels and all of that. They'll be patronizing all of our businesses and what have you. And these are churches and groups from all over the state of Louisiana. They're coming from far and near, and they want to host in Alexandria. And certainly we want to try to do our best to host them in whatever way that we possibly can. There'll be a lot of youth activities. We have the Congress of Christian Education. It will be at Peabody High School, where we will have youth from all over this state and across the state will be here. A lot of the youth activity, educational, recreation, and what have you. They'll be meeting at various churches, various gyms, all across this city. They will be meeting in various places. We will have at Peabody, we will host the Congress at Peabody, and then at Mount Zion Church, we will also have the worship service part of it. We will be doing community outreach. In fact, we have food trucks coming in Alexandria where we'll be distributing food to the hungry and all of that. And they will be meeting at various churches across our city. We have breakouts, they have different groups, different activities all over the city. And so we are trying to promote Central Louisiana in a grand way, in a grand style. And so we want to do it in a great way. We need help. These are our young people that we are trying to build, motivate, encourage, mentor, and certainly we need that in Central Louisiana. And so we are asking for your help in this endeavor as we've helped other ethnicity groups. And so we're looking forward to, and so there are some things obligation that we have to meet in doing that and hosting this convention. And so we are asking for your help.
Where did y'all host the event last year?
Well, we hosted in different states. We were in, like in Lake Charles. We was in Lake Charles. Every year we're somewhere every quarter. The state convention is somewhere every quarter. Every quarter, we're in Ville Platte, we're in Lake Charles, and we're doing the same activity there. But during the annual session is one of the biggest events of our state convention. Is the annual session part of it, where all of the churches, basically come together, and they come into one place in one area, and we have everything in that area, in that place. And so they chose Central Louisiana um, to be the host, and chose our district associations to collaborate in hosting that convention. And so trying to lay out the carpet for that, for the activities of our young people, our youth, and all of our other activities that will be taking place, learning, education. And that's what it's basically all about, It's impacting, uh, empowering our young people uh, to be better citizens, better children, amen, and Central Louisiana.
Any other questions for him? Thank you, sir. Any other public comments? I will do a roll call vote for number 6.
Dr. Lewis,
Yes.
Bell,
No.
Mr. Morgan,
Yes.
Mr. Callis.
No.
Chair motion.
All right, thank you. Did we do number 7? Oh, no.
No, we'd gotten there, but
Okay, now we're on number 7. Motion to recommend approving a grant request to the Louisiana Association of Chiefs Police in amount not to exceed $10,000 for meals for the LACP Annual Conference, July 15th through the 18th. You have a motion? Since we didn't have a motion for that item, we'll go to number 8 to hear public comments for the Executive Development Committee. All right, if there's no public comments, we'll go to our next committee, the Operations and Human Resources Committee.
Roll-
Yes.
Roll call, please.
Ms. Katz,
Here.
Mr. Morgan,
Here.
Mr. Callis.
Here.
Madam Chair, you have the floor.
Any public comments for this meeting? This committee stands adjourned.
All right, thank you. We'll go right over into our regular meeting for June 18th, 2024. We'll have a call to order, invocation. Anybody want to lead us in prayer this morning?
I don't mind. No task really.
Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for this gathering. Lord, we ask that you be in the midst of conducting our business, that you put you first and not us. Lord, we thank you for this opportunity. So in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Thank you. Our pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Can we get a roll call vote
Yes, sir. Ms. Straughton, Dr. Lewis,
here?
Ms. Katz,
Here.
Mr. Carroll.
Here.
Bell,
Here.
Mr. Morgan,
Here.
Mr. Callis.
Here.
Mr. Chair, you have the floor.
All right, first item, motion to approve the June 2024 consent agenda. We have the May 21st, 2024 meeting minutes. And then we have the May draft 2024 financial statement. We have a motion for item number 1.
Quick question, tab, Angie, which tab is that?
For the minutes,
Yep.
the May 21st minutes. Gotta help me out.
Sorry to put you on the spot. I'm trying to,
They may be in, on your side pocket.
maybe we're separated that.
Is this,
Yeah, there's something,
is this it?
No, no.
is that May 21st?
May 19th. No, that's March I'm looking.
They're behind tab 7,
Okay.
if our books are correct.
Okay.
Maybe 23rd.
That should have been our regular meeting. So we just discussed.
I make the motion to approve the minutes for the, May 21st meeting.
The June 20, the consent
The
agenda.
consent, we need a motion.
Consent agenda for the minutes and the financial statements draft.
Yes.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Discussion? Public comments on item number 1? All in favor? Any opposed? All right, item number 2, motion to approve the May 2024 board meeting minutes. We have a motion. Which one?
What's that?
Do we have a second? I think it's under tab number 8.
Second.
A second, I'm sorry.
They're actually different.
Do we have any discussion on this item? Any public comments? Can we, any other, do we have discussion on this item, on these minutes? All in favor of approving these minutes?
Aye.
And any opposed to the minutes? Next item, motion to approve the May 23rd, is that the same minutes? May 23rd minutes,
You're on number 3.
number 3.
What tab is that?
In my book, it's behind 7.
Thank you.
I don't know if it's consistent.
So this is for the special call meeting on May 23rd.
Made on time.
You need a motion.
Need a motion to put it on the floor.
I'll make the motion.
Then do we have a second?
Second.
Do we have discussion on the special call meeting minutes? Do we have any public comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Next item, motion to approve the April 16th meeting minutes. Do we have a motion?
Tab number?
April.
And tab 1.
Tab 1, thank you.
I think the tab 1 is the same.
Yeah, which tab?
I think I heard 1.
One.
Yes, 16th one.
Okay.
I think it was all discussion.
Well,
Motion.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Commissioner comments on it? Public comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, number 5, motion to approve the April 2024 draft financial statements. Do we have a motion on that?
Motion.
Do we have a second?
second.
Who was the motion?
Who?
Linda.
I think Commissioner Collins.
All right.
We got a
Keep
second.
keep things going.
All right, any comments from the commissioners? This is for the April financial draft. I think they made comments earlier about correcting and finalizing this one as well. Any public comments on item number 5? All in favor?
Aye.
Approval. Any opposed? All right, next item,
That's a duplication.
duplication, okay. Scratching off number 6, duplication. Number 7, motion to approve the April 30th, 2024 special call meeting minutes. We have a motion
So moved.
and a second.
Tab 3.
Number 7?
We are on number.
April 30th, number
Yes.
7.
Yeah.
Special.
30, yeah, number 7.
Motion and a second.
Any comments? Any public comments for us? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion, number 8, motion to approve the March 2024 meeting minutes. Do we have a motion?
I move.
Should be in your, in your.
Do we have a second to put it on the floor?
Who motion?
I do.
Second.
Any discussion?
So, Ms. Angie, basically getting all these minutes teed up and done, it's gonna get, people are asking me about the website, and I know why.
It's going to, right,
That's what get these things better.
yes, because it remains in draft, and it's not whether we agree or not agree, it just states what happened at the meeting.
Yeah, because, well, obviously, people are asking me like, why?
Right,
I'm like,
they're
oh,
calling
I'm
me
just
too.
Gotta approve all the minutes.
Yes.
I understand it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Do we have any other commissioner comments, public comments? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion to approve the February 13th, 2024 meeting minutes. We have a motion.
I was having a hard time with this one when I went to the tab. February 13th, there were 2 tabs. One was, I think, for economic development, maybe, and the other one was for executive committee. The Economic Development Committee, that one looked correct. The executive committee, I think, had the wrong date at the top, and it had the executive, but the language, that the verbiage was from a different meeting.
But we corrected it.
Okay,
It should be
okay.
correct, yes. I got your email on that. And we'll double check before
Yeah,
posting.
okay.
Yes, sir.
And the February 13th minutes, they're not in the packet. I don't see them anywhere.
February
13th, he's on number 13.
13 in the.
Yeah, that was one that I was
Yeah.
struggling with, when I went to the tabs yesterday.
I can bring it.
Do we need to take a second look at,
Yeah,
bring that one back?
yeah.
13.
Yeah, probably that was. table.
I think that was a Monday or a Tuesday. No. Okay, thank
I
you.
think we had several meetings,
Oh, yeah.
today, but I'll go back and
Or-
check and bring it back.
So we'll bring number 9, the February 13th minutes back for next month. All right, motion to approve February 14th meeting minutes. Do we have a motion? Do we have a second?
Second.
Do you have any comments, discussions? Any public comments? All in favor? Any opposed to February 14th? Next item, motion to approve the February 19th meeting minutes. We have a motion to put it on the floor.
Now, wasn't this the one?
I think this is where it was.
Yeah, but I
This is the one that the court date just happened yesterday.
yeah, said it didn't happen.
But the meeting did happen, but the judge determined that it was a legal holiday.
Correct.
But again, this just states what happened, and again, when we have our meeting to, discuss that court date, I don't know when we would, but, that will reflect that also, so, but it's up to the board whether or not, again, she ruled that it was something legal.
Yeah. It seemed to me, correct me if I'm wrong, that if the meeting wasn't a legal meeting, that we wouldn't approve minutes because,
The minutes will solely reflect what you did at the meeting that day. Now, whether or not your actions that day end up being void under open meetings law will be determined once we have a final judgment.
okay.
So it's your recommendation to go ahead and swap, get the minutes out.
If the minutes are accurately reflect what happened on February 19th, then they accurately reflect it, and that's what you'll vote on.
So when we do a discussion on it, those minutes will reflect.
Sure.
This next month's minutes will reflect what we talked about here.
Okay. Just want to make sure we're doing the right thing.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we need a second.
Second.
Who motioned?
Oh, I guess we need a first.
I just had a question.
Yeah, the question. So we need
The
a,
motion.
need a motion, then we need a second. And any discussion, I think we answered the question. Any public comments? Then all in favor? Any opposed?
So who was the motion in Jesus? I don't know.
Ron, Mr. Morgan seconded, didn't you?
I second.
Oh, you seconded, Mr. Morgan?
I did.
Okay, who made the motion?
I thought you did.
Okay.
All right, item number 12, motion to recommend approving a cooperative endeavor agreement with the Alexandrian Conventions Visitors Bureau in amount not to exceed $15,000 for meals and advertising and marketing of the 2024 Future Farmers of America Conference. We have a motion.
Just one quick aside, this gets you all caught up on the meeting minutes, you're good?
Yes,
There's nothing out there hanging?
aside the table,
Just the-
Number 9.
number
Number 9.
9, I need to get
Okay.
that to you. And I'm gonna double check with all the meetings and make sure that we have all the right dates and stuff like that before I
Good.
post it. Mr. Carroll, on the Future Farmers of America, I think that fireworks was $3,000. I don't know why she put 5,000, but I'm.
That's,
look
I
at it.
saw the number and I
Yeah.
didn't remember what was in the.
Because I don't think it was over 18,000, but at least we will get them caught up on their
Sure.
Do
reimbursement.
we need a motion? Put it on the floor.
Yeah, and motion, let's go.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, any discussion? Any public comments on number 12? All right, roll call vote.
Mr. Upton, Dr. Lewis,
Yes.
Katz,
Yes.
Carroll,
Yes.
Mr. Patel,
Yes.
Mr. Morgan,
Yes.
Powell.
Yes.
Mr. Chair, motion passes.
All right, thank you. We move this item, number 13, to the May. Again, send your questions to Ms. Angie so she can get them over to Ms. Vanderlick.
July.
Not,
Hung up on me.
They were-
Number 14, motion to recommend approving a grant request with the Louisiana Animal Care and Control Association in amount not to exceed $5,000 for out-of-area advertisement and marketing of the Louisiana Animal Care and Control Association training, July 22nd through the 26th. You have a motion?
So moved.
You have a second?
Second.
Go ahead.
All right, discussion, commissioners' discussion?
I have a question regarding that, that just came to mind. Louisiana Animal Care and Control Association. They're asking for advertising and marketing. But don't they already have that, the membership there? What are they marketing or advertising to?
I have 5,000 for meals. On the fact sheet. On the fact sheet, yeah.
This is different, though. This,
Yeah, it's for meals.
this is, meals. Okay.
For meals, yes, sir.
Yeah, on the fact sheet in the back, it says meals in
Yeah.
the back. So
Sorry about
All right, so it should, instead of advertising, it should say meal.
Yes, sir, thank you. Yes, sir.
That'll get changed for the next few minutes, but yeah. it's meals.
So I'll reread it. Motion to recommend approving a grant request for Louisiana Animal Care and Control Association, amount not to exceed $5,000 for meals, for the Louisiana Animal Control, Care and Control Association training, July 22nd through the 26th. So it's for meals. Any other commissioner comments? Any public comments? All right, roll call vote for us, please.
Mr. Upton? Dr. Lewis?
Yes.
Ms. Katz?
Yes.
Mr. Carroll?
Yes.
Mr. Patel?
Yes.
Morgan?
Yes.
Mr. Callis?
Yes.
There you have it. Motion passed.
Thank you. Number 15, motion to recommend approving a grant request from the Southwestern Diocese Church of Christ, Holiness USA, in an amount not to exceed $7,000 for meals at the Southwestern Diocese Convention to be held June 26th through the 30th. We have a motion. We have a second.
Second.
Do we have any commissioner comments for this item? Do we have any public comments for this item?
I'd just like to urge the board to please consider funding this room cost.
Thank you, ma'am. All right, roll call vote for us, please, Ms. Bernardo.
Mr. Upton? Dr. Lewis?
Yes.
Katz?
Yes.
Mr. Carroll?
Yes.
Mr. Patel?
No.
Mr. Morgan?
Yes.
Mr. Callis?
No.
Mr. Chair, motion passed.
All right, thank you. Next item, 16. Should be $1,000. All right, item 16, motion to recommend approving a grant request from RRIS Playhouse in amount not to exceed $1,000 for advertisement and out-of-market advertising for the Sole Purpose Stage Play to be held October 26, 2024 at the Coughlin Saunders. We have a motion. Put it on the floor.
Motion.
We have a second.
Second.
Commissioners, discussion. Public comment, public comments. All right, roll call vote.
Now, what are the, are we talking about $1,000 or 2,500?
It's one, for clarification, it's for 1,000.
Okay.
It's the one you and I, all this.
Okay.
We wanted to go forward. We just dropped it.
Public comments. All right, then a roll call vote.
Mr. Upton? Dr. Lewis?
Yes.
Ms. Katz?
Yes.
Mr. Carroll?
Yes.
Mr. Patel?
Yes.
Mr. Morgan?
Yes.
Mr. Callis?
Yes.
Mr. Chair, motion passed.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Number 17, motion to recommend approving a grant request with the United Educational Missionary Baptist Association in an amount not to exceed $10,000 for the Louisiana Home and Foreign Missions Baptist Convention to be held July 28th through August 1st. We have a motion.
Motion.
We have a second.
Second.
Commissioner comments. Public comments.
Again, I'd like to ask this board, please consider this worthy cause event.
Thank you. Any other public comments?
Yes. I stand in support of, the GAEDA board, providing the resources, to the state convention. As, President Lyons has already stated to the board, it's gonna bring economic impact to the city. There's thousands of people who come, and, they occupy our hotels. And actually, you can benefit from that. Them occupying hotels, they're gonna eat in our restaurants, and they're gonna stay, like I said, with our hotels, our restaurants, and any other, they're gonna shop in our malls. And I think to have that many people come it's an economical benefit to the city. And I think this is, why it's a worthy cause, first and foremost. But second, I think this is why GAEDA was, created for opportunities just like this. Thanks.
Thanks.
And then Earl Williams, we also talk about all the time not ever having anything to do for our youth and why they leave the city and no positive impact or influence. This is one of the other things that's going to bring positive impact into our city, that we can attract that age group that we continue to lose all the time. So this is a good way for them to learn how to be better citizens, how to pour back money into our economy, how to grow businesses in our city and to keep things here. That's why I support this as well.
Thank you. Any other public comments? All right, can we get a roll call vote, please?
Mr. Upton, Dr. Lewis,
Yes.
Katz?
Yes.
Mr. Carroll,
Yes.
Mr. Patel,
No.
Mr. Morgan,
Yes.
Mr. Callis.
No.
Mr. Chair, motion passes.
All right, thank you. Last item, motion to recommend approving a grant request for the Louisiana Association of Chiefs of Police in the amount not to exceed $10,000 for meals of the LACP Annual Conference to be held July 15th to 18th. You have a motion? You have a second?
Second.
Commissioner comments, discussion? Public comments on number 18?
Comment. This I likely to when we had the mayoral convention here. I don't know if you guys remember that, but as a business owner in town, there was a lot of activity that week. We saw a lot more traffic. These are professional people with money to spend in our community. They were out shopping, they were out dining, buying gas for their cars, staying in our hotels. And I really did notice an upkick in traffic that week. And I think these guys are a lot like that group of people that were here then.
And we previously granted them, $11,000 in 2021. She says we did, but they only used 9,000, a little over $9,000, for a caterer. Again, we don't pay the gratuity, we just pay for the meals, and if we have to pay taxes, we pay that. But they certainly do make an impact.
Any public comments?
I'd like to just say as well, this is another worthy cause that's coming to our community, and I think that this too is a no-brainer. I think it's good for all.
Thank you.
Well, educate me real quick. This didn't pass in committee, am I right?
It didn't, but it's only a
Still on the agenda.
Recommendations are from the committee.
regular meeting.
Okay.
Do we have any other public comments? If not, we'll do a roll call vote.
Mr. Upton, Dr. Lewis,
Yes.
Ms. Katz?
Yes.
Mr. Carroll,
Yes.
Mr. Patel,
Yes.
Mr. Morgan,
Yes.
Mr. Callis.
No.
Chair, motion passes.
All right, thank you. We have executive director comments,
Comment.
commissioner comments. Again, send whatever you need for Ms. Angie to send to Ms. Katie. And then we can put that on the next item.
I've got just kind of a quick comment. I'm assuming we're paying for this, right? Do we have the ability to go back? I mean, it's been, I thought, offered to us to go back to the city,
It,
council chambers.
it has, but what we ran into is, especially before COVID, our meeting starts at 8:00.
Right.
Getting in there is like getting in the fort.
Yeah, understood.
And we were sitting, if you remember, we were sitting out there in the heat,
I sat
waiting
out there.
for
Yeah.
meetings to start. That's the only reason why. The Bentley offered this to us for nothing. But in true Mr. Moeller style, he said, charge me something.
Yeah.
So they charge a minimum cost, to set up and make sure that we can start our meetings on time. And the staff has time to come in and set up. That wasn't, the city council, user friendly,
Right.
yes.
What's the cost?
I think it's like $75.
Yeah, I remember it not being,
$500.
say it was a token.
Right. But, no charge for the coffee and all that kind of thing, but, and they're actually not charging us, recently. You won't see it in there because, they were charging us the wrong fee, so we have credit. So we pay for it, but we're not right now.
Is it possible we can consider a different time?
Over at City Hall, at 9 o'clock.
9, 10, whatever.
That
It works better for me because I have to go to work at 9:30.
So again, in the 19 years it's been, well, I take that back. It was 8 o'clock. The meetings would start, the regular meeting would start at 9. But because we were moving so quickly through the agenda, we changed it to 8:15. Because if you put
And you can't.
immediately, you can't, that's not a time on the agenda. So, but it's truly up to the board on what time you would like to meet. It just fit other commissioners' time to be at 8 o'clock and then to be out by 9, no later than 9:30. So you would have to add it by unanimous vote to this agenda and then, vote on it if you want to.
Why don't you just kind of canvass us as we, and we talk about it at the next.
You do.
Legal counsel, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Barbara Melton. Thank you for having me. With respect to comments, I would recommend, considering ongoing litigation in the court's ruling yesterday, that the commissioners consider going into executive session. So I may discuss with y'all the effect of the ruling yesterday and what that means. So I would recommend that happen.
So we will need a,
You need two-thirds,
vote on-
yeah.
A two-third vote. Well, to add it to the agenda, I
Well-
need unanimous consent.
Well,
And then to move into executive session, we need two-third vote.
so executive session can occur, it does not have to be necessarily on a action item, as long as it was a properly public noticed meeting. As long as you satisfied the public notice requirements, because as we know, you can't do anything in executive session. So as long as this is a properly noticed meeting, we can go into executive session. It does not have to be specifically about anything that's on the agenda. But I will say, to be clear, it would be regarding and to discuss the ongoing litigation, as well as the court's ruling yesterday. And to be clear, Mr. Callis could not attend executive session for that reason.
Do y'all have time right after this? We'll do public
It
comment.
will be brief. Yeah.
We'll do public comment, open it up for public comments, and then we'll vote on it right after that.
Sure.
Did y'all have any final public comments?
I'd just like to add, thank you guys for showing up for the meeting today. We appreciate that in your business. GAEDA was able to do business. But as far as moving the meeting to another time, we would be able to have more public. Meeting. So
Thank you. Thank you.
If moved to a later time, or I'm just
if
getting,
moved to a later time, instead of 8 o'clock, more people would be able to attend.
We'll have to take a look. I know,
Take a look at it.
Yeah,
Just take a comment.
thank you.
Thank you.
And do we have a motion to add, going into executive session?
I'll make the
The
motion.
board is going into
We have a second.
executive session at this time, and so it's
Have a
not
second.
open to the
I'll
public.
second.
Do we need a roll call vote?
yes, sir.
Roll call vote to add it to the agenda first.